talk decently.
It's all
So
good.
so if the doctor prescribes one of these athletes something and something, let's say bad or something was to happen, who's in trouble?
If say that again.
If the doctor prescribed one of these athletes something that was recommended to him by Victor and something happens, who's in trouble?
The doctor.
Nobody.
Wrong.
In boxing, nobody.
But if the doctor prescribes something that another athlete doesn't need, and it was done because Victor Conte suggested it, no, the doctor would get in trouble because that medicine that was prescribed is a controlled substance.
But
Hey,
that's
Mr.
not the,
Greg.
but that's
What?
not what they're doing. They know that they need it based on this comprehensive blood testing is what
But
I'm
Well,
Victor
I
saying.
said what
cannot
you
do
said
that. That's
if
what I'm
they
saying.
don't
Y'all
need it.
missing the point. What I'm saying is
You said
Victor
if they making it
cannot
up,
do that. He literally just incriminated himself.
if
You
they
cannot
making it
do
up,
that.
yeah, he gets in
You
trouble.
cannot go to a doctor and say, "Hey, right." That's what I'm saying. That's just like how doctors get in trouble. Like they got a thing out here in Houston where they like to drink liquid codeine.
Yes.
Doctors will get in trouble if they're writing drug dealers prescriptions for liquid codeine for them to go out and distribute. You cannot do that.
Yeah,
That
the
is
doctor will get in
illegal.
trouble. It's illegal.
But the loophole that's being used is the comprehensive blood testing results that basically shows that this fighter, this boxer, is low in testosterone, or
But
this
it
boxer
has
is
to be
low in iron.
reviewed. But doesn't it have to be reviewed by a medical doctor?
Yes.
Yes,
So you're saying the orthopedic surgeon is reviewing it too?
according to Victor Conte, yes.
Then if the orthopedic surgeon, who is a qualified doctor, has a license, is also reviewing this blood test that Victor Conte
He
takes.
didn't say he was also reviewing it, so I can't give him credit for
But
that.
you said the doctor also reviews it. Either the doctor has
Oh,
seen it or has the doctor seen the blood test as well to make the recommendation and give the shot and
oh
write
yeah,
the
of course,
prescription?
because uh,
Okay.
yeah, because here's the thing. All right, so let me. It's another piece of the puzzle. So let me put it back on the screen so y'all can see. So when an athlete is going through VADA to get a therapeutic use exemption, there's an application that they must complete. I have it on my phone. I can put it on the screen, but it's on my other phone.
We
My
believe you.
point is though that in that application, it asks for the doctor's information where the doctor has to sign off on it. Now, it's interesting to me that the doctor do not have to include their license number on the application, but that's another story for another day. My point is that the doctor will have to sign off on it, and the athlete are supposed to provide supporting documentation with the application. The supporting documentation obviously is the comprehensive blood testing from Victor Conte, also the doctor prescription, okay, and also the recommendations and prescriptions that the doctor says this is what we need to give to this fighter, this athlete, and the reason why they needed to be approved. They meaning Victor, the athlete, the doctor, more so Victor and the athlete, to get it approved by the medical review board of VADA, which all of them are medical doctors over there. Margaret Goodman is a neurologist. But anyway, they're all doctors over there. The reason why they have to get it approved and they need a permission is because the substance and the methods are prohibited. So that once this drug test is being administered by VADA, and of course this athlete, this fighter is going to test positive for a banned substance, they will avoid the risk of being sanctioned and penalized. Why? Because they already got the exemption
So
proven.
they're going
So
over there to be exempt from cheating.
That's the oldest trick in the book, two
I
cents.
was just about to ask you then what.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that in cyclists and baseball for over 30 years.
So somewhere along the line, then this is where I'm thinking. Somewhere along the line, where they're getting these exemptions, so they can get the banned substance and it be legal. Somebody's not telling the truth in the beginning when the blood test is done,
It's
because
under
if
a Yes, Mr. Greg, you're hitting the head on it there. So what it is it's under a guise. I'm gonna let it out the bag tonight. It's under the guise, and it is a truth. It's actually a truth to overtraining, overworking out, which is where this low in iron, which is where this low testosterone, which is where this low energy levels come into play when fighters quote unquote overtrain or they undersleep or underrest, so to speak, right? So once the comprehensive blood testing, this is the whole point of the comprehensive blood testing in the beginning. Once we see that these levels are low, the thing we justify by saying is we need to do the comprehensive blood testing so that we can prove that you're overtraining, that you're under resting, right? That way, now we got evidence in black and white to show that you're low in iron, to show that you're low in testosterone, to show that your oxygen levels are low, to show that your red blood cells are low. This is how EPO constantly keep getting into the microdosing phases, because once your red blood cells is low, well, we have to give this athlete microdoses of EPO, which increases your red blood cells by pumping the oxygen through the lungs. You see, because we don't want this athlete who needs the endurance to go 12 rounds to faint. You see? So now that's why the doc got to come over and do some injections and do this and that. And we got to put it on paper to get the exemption. This was been going on for 30 years in sport, 40 years in sport. They've been doing this.
So would you suggest then, or not
and
you,
that,
not you,
ladies and gentlemen, is the answer to the question: what did he go over there for?
So would you suggest then, would anybody suggest then, athletes are purposely overtraining so they could get into position?
No, they're not purposely doing it.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. See, what it is they might be training regularly. They don't know. They don't know the things that Victor Conte studied. I'm just using him because we talking about him. So no, they're not just overtraining on purpose, hurting themselves. They're just training regularly. They don't know. And that's the reason why the quote unquote comprehensive blood testing is extremely important, so that they can be educated on what they see, because they don't know. You understand? I'm gonna give you an example. Alex Rodriguez. I asked Victor Conte about this. I can pull it up. And I'm gonna give y'all the reason why I asked him about this. Now I can pull it all together with this. I asked him, I said, in the Daily News in the Bay Area, you were quoted by saying that Alex Rodriguez, and this is at the time he was under investigation. You said that he came to your office. I said to him, because I already knew the answer, but I wanted him to say it to y'all. I said, did Romanowski bring him to your office? He said, yes, Bill Romanowski picked him up from the airport and brought him to my office at the Balco. And I said to him, I said, okay. I said, well, this was quoted from you in 2012. The new office, not the actual old Balco. The new office. All this happened. What they was talking about this in 2012, something that happened in 2006. This is after you came home from jail. So this is after you came home, you said you changed. I said, so when Alex Rodriguez came to your office, you were quoted in the Daily News saying that y'all had a conversation about legal supplements, but also you said that he asked you questions about illegal substances. And he said, well, I can pull it right up. He said, well, the first thing we did on Alex Rodriguez is we gave him a comprehensive blood test. And then I gave him some legal supplements. And then he asked me about, meaning Alex Rodriguez, asked Victor about, well, what about this and that, or the illegal stuff, right? And Victor said, I didn't give him nothing. Now, I'm going to tell y'all the reason why I asked Victor that. And I don't care if he's listening, because I got the evidence. The reason why I asked him about that, is because Tony Bosch, and I said this to Victor when I asked him the question. Tony Bosch, when A-Rod got indicted, right? Tony Bosch was in a deposition under the grand jury under the officials of the MLB, and he couldn't lie. He is the one that told legal authorities that Victor Conte was giving them the EPO, them meaning Alex Rodriguez. He said that in the deposition, right? He also stated, now he didn't say this about Victor, he said this about himself. I can pull it up. He said, I always, it's necessary to get blood testing done from all my clients. That's how I'm able to justify doping them. That's a quote from Tony Bosch, who was the quote unquote nutritionist for A-Rod for biogenesis. That's how A-Rod got caught. See, what I'm saying is I'm asking questions because I already got the evidence and I know the answers to it. A-Rod got the evidence to this too. A-Rod text Tony Bosch, and they got Victor's name in the text messages. Not only that, but they also had evidence. Well, the MLB already knew this because they gave him an exemption. They gave A-Rod an exemption because of low T. They called it low T in the text. Low testosterone. Why did they give him a therapeutic use exemption? Because he had a prescription from a doctor. This is why I'm asking questions and I'm saying what I'm saying. Y'all don't know why I'm saying it until I bring it all around full circle. But since we're here now, I'm letting it out the bag. That's why I'm saying that. A-Rod is not the only athlete that got a therapeutic use exemption. It's the oldest trick in the book. When you have a doctor giving you that prescription and you go the whole process that Victor said, you get to the medical review board, they see the paperwork and say, low testosterone. That's unhealthy. Well, we have a doctor giving a prescription. Okay, we'll just give him an exemption. Now he can keep on legally, Victor keep using legally dope now. So when he tests positive for the testosterone, put it back on the screen so people can understand what's going on. They can avoid the risk of being sanctioned. That's what we're talking about here. I had a question. I stumbled over something that was interesting that I didn't know anything about. I didn't know that you had some kind of dialogue with Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez. We all know who he is. Great MLB player. To my understanding, in 2012, this is all public record, he came to you. And I don't know if Romanowski brought him to you, but he came to you.
Romanowski picked him up at the airport and brought him to me. Drove him to the snack, yes.
Right. So you did an interview with the Daily News, and they actually quoted you by saying Alex Rodriguez came to you for legal substances, but hypothetically, the topic came up for him to receive performance-enhancing drugs from you. What happened in that situation?
No. He asked my opinion about this one or that one. And these are things that there were certain, back then there was a doctor that he was with, as well as Tyler was with from, no, not Bosch, but yeah, he was with Tony Bosch too. But there was another doctor, Anthony something from Canada, I forget.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
So we talked about some of these things, but he was not asking me to provide those to him. I guess there was already through testing and other discussion or investigation of him and Tony Bosch. And so he was looking for, what can I do that with legal performance enhancing substances? So did he come? Yes. Did we end up testing his blood? Yes. Did I end up making recommendations to him and providing him with supplements? Yes. But that was the extent.